Respected Sri Dr. Patwardhanji, Rajkumar, his father sitting here, Dr. Chokalingam, and very, very galaxy of thought leaders coming from the different parts of the world. And dear students are would-be leaders of the country. When Dr. Patwardhan was talking something about Raj, because I came here when the school began just to see that. And people dream. People are dreamers. But those who dream in the night, they forget their dreams in the morning. But those who dream in the day, they are dangerous fellows, because they actualize their dreams. I think that he has been not a daydreamer, but he dreams in the day. And I think that, Patwardhanji has talked quite a lot about that. But one thing which I find here, I see next orbit, and next orbit. There is a relentless quest to go to the next orbit. And that's what actually he has been doing. And I think that there are some people that are never satisfied. I think that in Hindi we say dil mange more. So I think that in his dictionary, dil mange more. Patwardhanji has talked quite a lot, and when you are not the first speaker, and after listening to the first speaker, you have to modify whatever you want to communicate, that. So I would be modifying, and first of all, I would like to contextualize. Because Chanakya and Gautam Buddha made a very powerful statement. Strategy, actions, words, they don't have any meaning. It's a context that provides meaning to the actions, to the strategy and words. That's why understanding context is important. And I think that Patwardhanji has very powerfully and beautifully has set the context and all that. That this is the context and all that. About India's scenario, about what should be the future scenario, and where the globe is going, and where we have to move. He has given beautifully that one. I think that when I see the main purpose of any academic institution, main purpose, why we exist, that's why I say purpose defines the movement and the actions of any academic institution. There are three basic purposes. One is that creation of knowledge. And very jokingly I say, without writing Vedas, you can never become a true Brahmin. So those who are in a Brahminical profession, those who are in the teaching profession, I call them Brahmin, I think that you have to write Vedas. Without writing Vedas, you don't have any reason to exist. So that's why creation of knowledge is important. And I think that the world would be ruled and dominated not by the weapons, but the globe would be dominated by the power of the mind. Once upon a time, India had a galaxy of great thought leaders. We went to China, we went to Vietnam, we went to Indonesia, we went to Thailand, and that was the time India ruled the world in terms of knowledge power. I think that, so those nations, if America is ruling today, if some of the European countries are ruling today, I think that they have been ruling the world because of their knowledge power. And I think that I was talking with Raj, and I was also talking with Dr. Patwardhan. Maybe that going to America for the LEAP program is one thing, good. Going to Europe would be also something good. But going to China would be a very, very different, because the Chinese journey and the Chinese odyssey to reach that level is extremely important. Because what a great transformation, what a great change, I think that has taken place in that. Since some teachers are sitting here, so first one is about creation of knowledge. The second one is a dissemination of knowledge. And that's where the publication comes, that. I think that how you disseminate to the society, to the globe. So the second one is the dissemination of knowledge. The third one, and very, very important word, third one, application of knowledge. And that's why we say, Artha kari so vidya. The purpose of knowledge is what? To create wealth. If the knowledge doesn't create wealth, I think it's not very valued. And Vivekananda made a very powerful statement. Thought without action doesn't have any value. Thought without action doesn't have any value. And action without thought is a futile exercise. Swami Vivekananda made a powerful statement. How to integrate thought and action? That's where the application becomes very important. Now, I would like to say in the olden days, there used to be 4 kinds of teachers. And I think that you were talking something about Guru when you were communicating with the global audience, that. Guru has got some kind of meaning, so I will come. The first was known as Adhyapaka. Adhyapaka means what? The one who disseminates knowledge. Equivalent to a lecturer. So giving lectures, disseminating information. The second one is known as Upadhyaya. Up samay pe adhyanam jaha karoti sah upadhyaya. I think that he or she is a mentor. He or she is a mentor. And third one, that's what I was talking with Dr. Chokalingam. The third one is Acharya, where he would be teaching more through his conduct, through his behavior. And when I inquired about that, have you got the bathroom in your office? So I was told that no, bathroom is outside. And I think that I never used my bathroom. I always used the bathroom where faculty members used to go. It means what? That I belong to all of you. If I want that you belong to me, first of all, I must say that I also belong to you. And that is what I was talking with your father, that it's really something, I mean, very, very impressive that I am one of you. That's known as Acharya, by conduct, by behavior. What he says, he means. Walk the talk. That was another kind of thing. And the last one is known as Guru. Guru stands, and the meaning of Guru is the one who removes the darkness from life. He is a Guru. And that's why the Guru's word is being used as a Guru Ghanta. So that's why actually I find that Guru is that one who removes the darkness from life. He provides the meaning of life. Let me come back quickly to our students who are sitting here, because we will talk more about how to creation of knowledge, dissemination of knowledge, and application of knowledge. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about the great students sitting here, the future leaders of the country. In China, I'm talking about the Confucius. He gave that story, and I was reading, and I was quite excited. He gave the story of a king. He took his son to the teacher, and the mandate was that I want my son should be the greatest king China has ever produced. Teacher said, but I have been grooming kings, but not the greatest king. He said, but you have to do it. And he said that, well, mighty king, since that's your instruction and order, I have to do it. And I will do it. So the king said, what should I do now? He said, go back and come back after 6 months. And when he came back after 6 months, the teacher said, your son is the greatest warrior China has ever produced. He can use all the weapons which is important to fight in life as well as to have the victory. What should I do now? He said, well, you come back, don't come back, you come after 1 year. So he called the student, he said, now you go to forest. And that's where I was quite impressed by your campus. Go to forest. What should you do? Come back after 3 months. So he came back after 3 months. And he said, how much time you are going to give me to make my presentation? Because I need 14 hours. He said, 14 hours. But he prepared very well, because in those days there used to be no PowerPoint presentation. And I always say power corrupts and PowerPoint corrupts absolutely. So that's why when Nandita ji said that, don't bring your PowerPoint presentation, so I was very happy that at least you know that. So find that, he said 14 hours. So he made the presentation. He asked the teacher, what do you feel about my presentation? He said, rubbish. He said, rubbish? 14 hours of efforts, rubbish? And why you are making rubbish? He said, I see only data and facts, nothing else. Can we go beyond data and facts to have converted into information into knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom? And that's why I don't see any wisdom here. He said, what should I do? Now go to your kingdom, move around, and come and make the presentation about the kingdom, about the state of your kingdom. He went, came back, and he said, how much time do you want? He said, I want only 2 hours. So 14 hours became 2 hours. And he became extremely emotional. I said, he never want to be king, you know. I have seen superstitions, I have seen poverty, I have seen hunger, and I think that I would like to spend my time in removing that. He said, good. Now the last one is that you should go for about a month and come back. He said, what I will do after a month? What I will do? He said, no agenda. The day students start building their own agenda, we have done our job. We are not in the business of giving agenda. And the major problem I find, so long as I am a reader, I am a dean, somebody would be giving agenda to me. But when I become the vice chancellor, who would be giving agenda to me? Agenda building is the most difficult job. So he went and came back after a month. He said, how much time do you want to make the presentation? He said, 2 minutes. I will speak 2 sentences, not more than 2 sentences. And dear students, remember those 2 sentences. And those who are in the business of grooming leaders, because we are really, academic institutions are primarily in the business of grooming leaders. If you groom the leaders in the area of research, groom the leaders in the area of consulting applications, we have done our job. So I said, okay, say. These 2 sentences are very important sentences. Maestro, while I was moving around, I could hear the sound of unborn child. I could hear the sound of unborn child. I could also hear the sound of sun rays. I could also hear the sound of sun rays warming the petals of roses. The teacher said, Eureka! China would not be having a king like you. And he became very curious. Why you are making that statement, teacher? He said, well, because you can see tomorrow. You can see unfolding future. Sound of unborn child means you can predict future, what will happen. And those who think of tomorrow, they make that today as well as tomorrow both. But those who think of yesterday, they spoil that today as well as tomorrow both. How to build that mindset which can see in the future? And petals, warming the petals of roses. What can't be heard by anyone, you can hear. And the teacher said, Prince, you can look beyond, you can look around, and you can look within. The objective of institution is to make people look beyond, to look around, and to look within and prepare themselves for that. Having said that, and dear students, you must remember that. Can you look beyond? Can you look around like a radar like mind? And can you look within? If you do it, it's a fantastic. Only 5 minutes more I will take. Raj, I will take 5 minutes more because I can see that 11 o'clock is the boundary, so I will. Something about the students. Something about the students. If you think about the leadership, I will talk about 5 mantras. The first mantra is Himalayan vision creates Himalayan energy. Your level of energy is very much linked with your level of vision, with your level of dream. If you want to reach sky, at least you will reach somewhere. So that's why level of vision is important. That's the first mantra. The second mantra is leadership is nothing. It's the purpose of life. Leadership is nothing. It's the purpose of life. What is the purpose of your life? People don't follow leaders. People follow purpose. We give our life for our wives and husbands because wife is a purpose, husband is a purpose. People give their life for the purpose. And people were prepared to give life for Gandhi because Gandhi was a symbol of purpose. And that's why someone wrote, Chal pade jidhar do dagmag pag, chal pade koti pag usi hai. Wherever Gandhi moved, crores and crores of people followed. And I said that people didn't follow Gandhi. People followed the purpose which he was pursuing. I think that we had about 25 American professors. And when in MDI, and I think that I was there, and I told them only one thing in my lecture. Why don't you write the purpose of your life? Next day, Basant Sathe was supposed to come, he didn't come. So the director of the program, he went and he said, we are calling Dr. Pritam Singh. He said, no, we don't want to listen to Dr. Pritam Singh. They said, why? He said, well, write down the purpose of your life. We couldn't sleep whole night. If you ask a question, what is the purpose of your life? You are going to have sleepless night. And the moment you have a sleepless night, life begins. That's why purpose of life is important. The third one is very important. Those who live for others, they never die. Those who live for others, they never die. Malaviya ji, we were talking last night about Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya. He will never die. He will never die. Gandhi will never die because they lived for others. And that's why you must have seen, you children must have seen, when you get 104 temperature, you say, oh ma, yeah, oh bap. You say, oh papa, or oh mummy. What do you say? Mummy. Why? Why not papa? The poor papa fellow, he goes to the office, he makes money, and he for the whole family he manages. Because mother is a symbol of sacrifice. Those who are the symbol of sacrifice, they are respected. Those who give, they are respected. So I always say, by giving, you are moving towards the godly side. By taking and taking, you are moving towards the devilish side. It is up to you whether you want to move towards God's side or devilish side. So those who live for others, they never die. And the fourth mantra, that's very, very important mantra. Life begins from death. Life begins from death. So long as there is a continuous death in your life, you are having new life. Death of wrong habits, death of wrong thinkings, death of wrong philosophy. Because you can't build something unless you are prepared to destroy something. And that's why there is a very powerful story in Greek mythology. And when I read that story, Church was on the verge of collapsing, and people were asked not to go for the morning prayer. After 6 months, corruption was rampant. All the values were eroded. People got together and they said, well, why these things are happening? And the reply was, since we don't have a church, and that's why these things are happening. Resolution number 1, we must build a new church. People danced, celebration began. He said, great. Second resolution came. Since all our lives have been attached to the old church, the new church must be built on the place of the old church. It's a fantastic, great idea. But there was one fellow, he raised his hand, not full hand, raised his hand, he said, and the new church must be built without destroying the old church. And the new church was never built there. If you want to build a new church, you must destroy old church. This is the major problem, Patwardhan Sahab, about the Indian universities. 138 faculty members of the academic council. What can you discuss there? Even one of these institutions whom we have selected, 78 persons in the faculty council, 2 days meeting goes, 2 days and 2 nights. So I asked a question, what do you do? He said, well, we discuss everything except academic matter. In the academic council, we discuss everything. Please, I would say that I was talking with DPC. Somewhere, statues need to be seen again and again. Unless you do that, because unless you change the structure, unless you change the strategy, I think transformation can't take place. We may talk about that one, but this will be very, very well. The last point which I would like to say, so are you prepared? Are you prepared to destroy certain things? If you are continuously prepared to destroy everything, fantastic. For example, that Patwardhanji made a very powerful statement. He gave the concept of Ardhanarishwara. How many of you have heard the name of Ardhanarishwara? Whose name is Ardhanarishwara? Only one hand I see. Lord Shiva is known as Ardhanarishwara. Why? Because there is a feminine side and a masculine side. So the culmination of fullness lies in terms of feminine side and masculine side. Because feminine side is creativity, more innovating and all kinds of things, and masculine side is more action-centric. So when you combine both, that's fantastic. The last one which I would like to say, because I don't want to go beyond time because I'm very much conscious, he said, to be a leader, the leader's life is examination, giving examination every day. Every day. Jesus had to give the examination to lead. So was Gandhi, so was Martin Luther King, so was Nelson Mandela. All had to give examination. Forget about that. Even Lord Krishna had to give the examination to lead Arjuna. Because when the entire Gita was over, and he said, Sarva dharma parityajya mam ekam saranam praja. Now you do whatever I say. Arjuna said, I don't want to do. I don't want to do. But before that, I will come to that, last one. I am asking all of you to do whatever I say. Okay? The instruction is whatever I say, follow my instruction. Raise your hand, all of you. All of you raise your hands. All the faculty members sitting also, Vice Chancellor sitting also, raise your hands. Rotate your hand. Raise both hands. Rotate both hands. And whatever I say, go on following. Raise only one hand. And make a ring through any 2 fingers. Close your eyes and take deep breath 5 times. Relax. You are a Buddha. Just relax. You are like a bird flying in the sky. Open your eyes slowly. And please remember, whatever I say, go on following. Again, rotate your hand. And please hold your chin. Very chin. Chin is here or chin is here? Such powerful minds sitting here, I intoxicated you within 2 minutes, or not 2 minutes. That is a power of mind. Power of action. So thought is louder than, action is louder than the thought. That's an important point. So Krishna had to give the examination. And I think there are about 21 slokas, I find Chokalingam may be interested. I can talk about those. But last time he said, Kiritam Kadinnam. Kiritam Kadinnam Chakrahastam. Ichhami Tvam. Drashtumaham Tathaiva. And Tenaiva Rupena Chaturbhujena Sahasrabaho Bhava Vishwamurti. Lord, show me your Virat Rupa. And whatever you say, I will follow. I think that leadership is बहुत लफड़े वाला काम है. It's a very messy affair. 21 years of my life, I was asking a question. I was Pritam Singh, and my reply was no, I was not Pritam Singh. I was a different person. Because you find that when I went to Lucknow, I put up khadi ka pajama and kurta. And prior to that, I was known as suit person. And somebody asked a question to me that why you put up khadi ka pajama and kurta? And my wife has said, what bloody nonsense is difficult to maintain. So I said, someone asked a question to Gandhi that what prompted you to become a naked fakir? You come from a very wealthy family. Your father has been Diwan of Rajkot, and you all along educated in London. So what prompted you to become a naked fakir? And Gandhi's reply was, this country never heard the language of kings and this country never heard the language of kings and emperors. But this country always heard the language of naked fakirs and saints. Gandhi followed Indians. I think that Indians followed Gandhi. The romance mein hota hai na, you follow your fiancée and she also follows you. Leadership is something, it's a fiancée. Chasing people. You chase people, they will chase you. I think that students think about that one. And I think that all the teachers, my friends, great thought leaders, global thought leaders sitting here, what can be done to bring some kind of acharya concept in the academic institution? That's very important. If not guru, at least about acharya. Kalidasa, I am a great admirer of Kalidasa. One poem of Kalidasa I like very much. God, you can give me any amount of trouble, any amount of miseries. I will think that one is a blessing. But don't ask me to recite my poem in front of those fellows who are non-appreciative. Thank you very much for being very appreciative.